Man, so one half of who is arguably the greatest movie villain of all time has passed away at 85. David Prowse. What's crazy is, as a fan, I usually think of Vader as James Earl Jones. One of you sent me a message. No, you posted a comment that said R.I.P. Darth Vader. And I was like, what? So I immediately looked up James Earl Jones and I was like, he's not dead. I was like, okay. Yeah, they're just writing something stupid like everybody, does from time to time in the comments and, And I didn't think about it because I'm so used to people usually focusing on who is the voice of Darth Vader, which usually is the most prominent. People remember the breathing and how he speaks. However, we forget about the powerful walk, the presence, the body language. You know what I mean? The power. You know what I mean? We forget about who was inside sometimes. You know what I mean? So it says here, Mr. Prowse went from being a weightlifting champion in Britain to helping portray one of the most memorable villains in movie history. But his voice did not make the edit. I remember seeing something on that. As I said, David Prowse, the British actor who gave the imposing physical presence, but not the voice to Darth Vader in the original Star Wars trilogy, died on Saturday in a hospital in London. He was 85. Mr. Prowse's death was confirmed by Thomas Bowington, his agent. Mr. Prowse's family did not release a cause of death, but he retired in 2016 because of ill health. Standing 6'6". Well, I didn't know he was that big. Damn, I didn't know Vader was that big. Taller than The Rock. Rock's 6'5". Standing 6'6" with a physique honed by years of weightlifting, Mr. Prowse had the perfect presence for the role of Darth Vader, I see, whom he played in 1977's Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back in 1980, The Return of the Jedi in 1983. He was scouted for the role by George Lucas, the franchise's creator, who has seen Mr. Prowse play a bodyguard in Stanley Kubrick's A Clockwork Orange. I have to check that out. Mr. Lucas actually offered Mr. Prowse a choice of roles for the original Star Wars, really. Chewbacca, oh, okay. The hairy gentle giant and a hero in the franchise, or Darth Vader, the arch-villain. Mr. Prowse told the BBC in a 2013 interview that the choice had been simple. I said, well, don't say any more, George. I'll have the villain's part. Mr. Prowse recalled, you always remember the bad guy. That's true. If it's done right, you will always remember the bad guy. There was another reason he turned down Chewbacca, he added. I thought, oh God, no, 3 months in a gorilla skin. No, thank you. Mr. Prowse's voice had the distinctive agricultural tones of someone born in Bristol in West England, and many believe that is why he did not get to voice Vader. His lines were instead overdubbed by James Earl Jones after filming had finished. In the BBC interview, Mr. Prowse said that it was not actually his accent that led to the change. Wearing Darth Vader's mask had caused his lines to come out muffled during filming, he said, and Mr. Lucas did not have time to fly him out to America to overdub the lines. Interesting. So you got James Earl Jones do it, and it's like, whoa, and that's history. Mr. Prowse only learned that his voice was missing from the film at the premiere. I'd have been mad. I'm watching the film, and all of a sudden this strange voice comes over. He told the BBC in 2013 interview, I thought, oh goodness me, that's not me. But he said that Mr. Jones had been a great choice for the part, and the pair became friends. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool, man. Says here, but some said the change was inevitable because of his accent. They always knew they were not going to use the voice. Carrie Fisher, who played Princess Leia in the films, who called him Darth Farmer. Mr. Prowse's face and his voice could have finally made an appearance in the franchise in The Return of the Jedi, when Luke Skywalker removes Darth Vader's mask so that the pair can look at each other. But Lucas instead decided to use the actor Sebastian Shaw to play the character in that moment. I wonder why he did that. In some fight scenes, Darth Vader, who also played by Bob Anderson, a fencer and stunt double. Okay. Regardless of the changes, Mr. Prowse was always a favorite of Star Wars fans and spent much of his life afterward attending conventions and dealing with fan mail. Some of it of a salacious nature from women who found his suit sexy. The freaks. Oh man, he told Jackie Collins in a 1980 interview. David Prowse was born in Bristol, England on July 1st, 1935. His first passion was not acting but bodybuilding, and he won the British Heavyweight Championship in weightlifting in the 1960s. Once he moved into acting, his roles were mainly as monsters in horror movies. In Britain, he became more widely known when he got the part of the Green Cross Code Man, a superhero who promoted road safety. He appeared as the character in a government television campaign and also toured schools to encourage children to stop, look, and listen before crossing the street. The British government almost fired him from the role after Star Wars came out. Mr. Prowse told Ms. Collins in the 1980s interview because they felt Darth Vader's image could clash with a road safety campaign. Well, not like Vader was driving anywhere. The campaign ran until 1990, and Mr. Prowse wrote in a 2014 piece for The Guardian that it was the best job I've ever had, including my Star Wars role, and by far my proudest achievement. But even in Britain, Mr. Prowse will likely be remembered more for being the man behind the suit in Star Wars than anything else. He is survived by his wife Norma and 3 children. Very, very interesting. Man. I tell you. It's kind of interesting. It took 2 men. To make the greatest villain of all times. And to be a part of that, you can't take that away from neither one of those men. Neither one of them. I want to do something like that. I'm serious. I want to create a legacy character. You know what I mean? Character that, if I'm identified as that character the rest of my life, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like Christopher Reeve's always going to be Superman. You know? Sylvester Stallone's got Rocky. And Rambo, really. But most people think of him as Rocky. And you got Sylvester Stallone as the Terminator. You know what I mean? Like, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker. You know what I mean? It's just these iconic, cool-ass characters that everybody loves. That's what I'm going to do. Help make new movie history. You know what I'm saying? So, love to follow in your footsteps. Mr. Prowse will become as great as you. And you definitely left a legacy. Rest in peace, sir. Post comments down below. Let me know what you all think. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and share.